So I've constantly said that I would never do a top 10 list because not only does my top 10 list change literally by the week, but not only that, there's different top 10 lists, one for the fall, one for the winter, one for cold weather, warm weather, all of that. But because actually a bunch of my subscribers asked me, would I do a top 10 list of my top 10 right now? And so in this video, I'm gonna go through a list of all year round, my top 10 list right now. If I had to choose 10, what would they be? So without further ado, let's get it. What's up, my dudes? This is Randy, aka Fragrance Dude, back with another fragrance video. I appreciate you guys joining me. So before I get into the video, as always, if you guys could just kindly drop a like and subscribe, and if you do like my content, always consider leaving a comment and also hitting the bell for future notifications. It always helps out my channel and it makes me want to make better videos for you guys. So I don't know if I've ever told you this before, but I really do not like making top 10 or really top anything videos. I like to be more vague about it because I'll do like a 5 of my favorite, because of the fact that not only are fragrances constantly changing, being discontinued, new releases, but not only that, I like the cooler weather fragrances, the sweeter fragrances more than I like the warm weather fragrances. So to me, it's a bit redundant. But with that said, I've had about a dozen of you guys over the last week ask me if I would make a top 10 list, even though you guys understand that I don't like doing top 10 lists. You want me to do a top 10 list of my top 10 fragrances I would choose from my collection if I had to right now, at this point in time. And so what I did, in the spirit of not just choosing all cool weather fragrances, I chose 5 of my favorite warm weather fragrances and 5 of my favorite cool weather fragrances that I would choose from my collection right now. Again, based on the new releases, I think there's like 2 or 3 in this list that are new releases. And so in the spirit of not boring you guys, I'm gonna get straight into it. So the first one on my list, again, is a new release in 2022. It is Dior Homme Sport 2021. And yes, it's called 2021, but it was released in the early 2022. So this is a fragrance that, if you guys have watched my channel, you know is one of my signature fragrances. In the spirit of keeping it moving along, I'm only going to give you guys 3 of the main notes from each of these fragrances. This is advertised as a citric aldehydic woody fragrance, and the main notes are lemon, aldehydes, and woods. So this fragrance, the best way to explain it is you get a really nice amount of citrus and aldehydes in the opening. It's that Dior Homme DNA. If you added some citruses to it, it's really nice. It doesn't get as citric as like Dior Homme Cologne. And then you get those aldehydes in there. A really nice amount of woods in the dry down. It is a fantastic fragrance. It is very versatile. It's one that, if for an eau de toilette, I'm surprised it lasts about 7 hours, maybe a little bit longer. It projects above average. It's a really good fragrance, and you can actually find it on decent prices on Macy's website when they do the 15% off. So I would definitely go out to your local Macy's or Nordstrom's and try it out. It's a great signature fragrance, great for the spring and summer, but you can also wear it outside of that. Really nice, and it's really nice for the office as well. It's more for formal situations, but I also do wear it casually. It's really your choice, but I find it more formal. So I'm going to go warm weather to cold weather, warm weather, cold weather. So the next one on my list, I actually only got this week, although I've had a decant of it in the past. This was one that is now discontinued, I believe, or it's just really hard to find. I know they have it in Europe and stuff, but this is by Guerlain. It is Lhomme Idéal Extreme. So this is a line that I have a lot of the fragrances from. I have the original, the Eau de Toilette. I have the Eau de Parfum, which has the Eau de Toilette DNA with cherry. Then I have Coal, which is discontinued, which is the EDT with mint. And then the Intense has leather and incense. And then we have this one, which I'm considering now, just based on the amount of time that I spent with it, to be the best in the line. So this is advertised as a fruity almond tobacco fragrance, and really that gives away the notes. The top 3 notes that are in this fragrance are going to be plum, they've got tobacco, and a creamy almond. So this fragrance, it's just absolutely beautiful. While it does have very a lot of similarities to the Eau de Parfum, it's not as feminine, because the Eau de Parfum to me does come off with that cherry note, a little bit feminine. while the Extreme really does have this nice plum wateriness to it, mixing with that creamy almond in the opening. And then as you get to the dry down, that's where this fragrance really hits its stride. That sweet tobacco, it's like a sweet vanilla pipe tobacco comes out, and it makes this fragrance a lot more masculine, and it really does tie together all of the best facets of the entire line, well, of the Eau de Parfum and the Eau de Toilette, puts them together as that plum note in there, makes it a little bit fresher while still being a fall and winter time fragrance. It lasts about 7 to 8 hours, if not more than that. It's a really good fragrance. It's an Eau de Parfum, one that you definitely need to get your nose on. You can find it on Harrods usually, or there's a lot of other sites. If I do see it, I'll put it on my community tab. So that's Lhomme Ideal Extreme by Guerlain, quickly becoming one of my favorite fragrances. So the third one on my list is going to be the only one that I do not have a full bottle for because I ran out of it and I'm waiting to get my newest one. And so this is going to be probably the most versatile fragrance here, if not the top two, and that is by Chanel. It's Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. So this fragrance is an aromatic citrus fragrance. The main notes that you find in it are mandarin orange, tonka bean, and sandalwood. So this fragrance is literally, I know I don't mention it that much on my channel, but again, it's because I don't like mentioning things that I don't have full bottles of. So it takes that original Chanel Allure Homme Sport DNA, that citrus aromatics, similar to Missoni Wave and Versace Pour Homme. And it takes that dry down that Chanel Allure Homme Sport's known for, that it comes and it gets a little bit sweeter, gets that tonka bean / vanillic feel to it, and it dials that dry down to 11. So you get that mandarin orange, you get that aromatics, those woody notes coming in the opening, and then you get a little bit of the tonka bean in the opening. Once you get to the dry down, again, those woods really pull up, the aromatics pull up, and then you get this nice creamy tonka bean / vanilla that really does make this a super versatile fragrance. You can wear day, night, spring, summer, fall, winter. It doesn't matter what age you are. I mean, literally, I would wear this when I was 15 or when I'm 50. So really nice fragrance. Chanel Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme, a little bit on the pricier end as far as the fragrances here, but not much. It's like $130 for a 3.4 ounce, but it's well worth the price and one of the best fragrances out there. It's called Sport, but it's not really a sporty fragrance. It's an all-around versatile, formal, casual, anything fragrance that if you're looking for a fragrance that's really easy to pull from your collection for any situation, that is it. So the fourth one on my list, I actually just did a clone review of Afnan 9 PM, which is a slightly fresher, longer lasting version of this. This is, I still like this one better, is Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultra Mole. This is a fragrance that is one of my favorite date night fragrances for the fall and winter. The main notes that you find in it are lavender, vanilla, and pear. So this takes that original sweet Lhomme DNA, although I don't really like Lhomme that much, the original. I think it's a little bit dated and a little bit too cloyingly sweet, but it also depends on the batch. Even though I'm not a big batch issue person, I did find that there are some crazy not good batches in the original Lhomme. But anyway, it takes the good version of the Lhomme and it adds this nice, sweet, heavy, deep pear to it. Really makes this fragrance nice and fruity, heavy, deep, and that's why I like this better than Afnan 9 PM. Even though 9 PM is amazing, this really has this deepness, this heaviness, and not only that, it lasts about 8 to 10 hours. It's an Eau de Toilette intense, so it's more closer to an Eau de Parfum than an Eau de Toilette. Again, 8 to 10 hours, well above average projection, and again, it's probably my favorite Jean Paul Gaultier out there, especially because it's in my top 10 list right now. And again, you get in that opening, you get that pear, you get a slight bit of lavender in the background, and then you get this vanilla, or it's called Vanilla Absolute, that you get coming in through the dry down that you would get in most of the Lhommes, but that pear note and the spicy notes and the cinnamon that you get in this really mix together well, make it one of the best date night and clubbing fragrances out there. This is a little bit more youthful than the other ones, but you can wear it probably up to age 45 or so, even higher. So that's Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultra Mole. Probably one of the only giant bottles that I have because I like it so much. And so the next one is going to be an oldie but a goodie. A lot of people say it's worn out, but it will never be worn out for me. Another Chanel, Bleu De Chanel Eau de Parfum. The main notes in this are going to be grapefruit, incense, and amberwood. And so I could have chose the Parfum. It's the best for date nights. I could have chose the Eau de Toilette. It's the freshest and best for spring and summer. I like this because it's the best of both worlds. You get the freshness from the Eau de Toilette. You get the deep amber woodiness from the Parfum. So what you get in this is you get that grapefruit in the opening mixed with the citruses that the Bleu De Chanel is known for. You get a little bit of that incense and amberwood coming in as well as a little bit of pink pepper to give it some spice. Once you get into the dry down, that's really where this hits its stride. It gets that date night feel, that amberwood, that it's resinous, it's warm, it's woody, and then you also get that smokiness from the incense pulling up, mixing together with the amberwood, creating the Bleu De Chanel DNA that it's all known for. Fantastic fragrance. One of the best, most versatile fragrances out there. It lasts about 8 to 10 hours easy, just like a lot of the other ones on this list. And it's going to be one of those fragrances just like Allure Homme Sporto Extreme that you could pull it anytime, formal, casual. It's better in formal situations, but I do love it in casual situations. Day, night, better in the night, but still pretty much any time. But the next one is going to be, it was a difficult situation because I had to choose between this or another one in the line. And this is Azzaro's The Most Wanted Eau de Parfum Intense. Could have chose Most Wanted Parfum, but I haven't got that many wears on it because it is more of a fall and wintertime fragrance. It is one of my favorite fragrances out there though, but I did have to go with The Most Wanted Eau de Parfum Intense because at this moment, it's the one that I'm wearing for date nights. It's the best gourmand fragrance that I have. It's the best gourmand fragrance that I've owned. And I'm leaving niche out of this video. And so there are some that would come close to this one in the niche community, but in the designer community, there's nothing that compares to this fragrance. It is gourmand, but also fresh at the same time. It's heavy, fresh, gourmand, amazing. The main notes you get are cardamom, toffee, and amberwood. So you get that fresh spiciness from the cardamom mixed with that toffee, which gives it that creamy sweetness, that gourmandness. And then you also get that amberwood that gives it that woody, dark, warm sweetness. Really, really, really nice. And it's one of the best fragrances out there. It's great for date nights. It's great for cuddling. It's pretty much great for pretty much anything that you're looking for. It's one of the most complimented fragrances, if not the most complimented fragrance I own. That is Most Wanted Eau de Parfum Intense. It lasts about another 8 to 10 hours. This one's actually probably 10 to 12 hours. Some people say they get less. Not me. I definitely get good. I sprayed about 6 times and I get it pretty much 8 to 10 hours out of it. So the next one on my list is another fresh fragrance, but it's also very versatile, by the house of Rasasi. It is Rasasi Hawas. So the main notes that you get in Rasasi Hawas are plum, watery notes, and musk. And that's really all you need to know about this fragrance. Although there are a lot of different facets to it, this is a beast mode. One of my favorite fragrances, a beast mode fragrance that will project super heavily to the point where you do not want to overspray this, but if you do, no one's going to hate you for it because it smells fantastic. That plum, those watery notes mixed together in the opening. You also get a little bit of apple and cinnamon in there as well. It makes it sweet, it makes it fruity, it makes it fresh, it makes it refreshing. And then in the dry down, you get this musk, you get these woods coming in. Really nice overall fragrance. It's great for the spring and summer, although I do wear it in the fall. You can wear it day or night, although I like it better, like kind of transition from day to night in the afternoon. That's the best time to wear this fragrance. It lasts about 10 hours, and I don't care if anybody says differently about it. It definitely lasts 10 hours or more. It's fantastic. Beast mode projector. It's one of the best projectors I have. So going from the beast mode projector, that was Rasasi Hawas, one of my favorites for the spring and summer. We're going to my next favorite and even more of a beast mode projector for the fall and winter. This is my favorite fragrance from the Spicebomb line. It is Spicebomb Infrared. Although Extreme is good, it doesn't compare to this in my opinion. So the main notes that you get are red fruits, cinnamon, and benzoin. A lot of people say it smells like Big Red in the opening, but to be honest with you, it has a little bit of that, but it's more of a natural cinnamon. It smells more natural than Big Red. And then not only that, the cinnamon, there's a lot more facets in there. The cinnamon mixes with this nice, sweet, fruity red fruit or red raspberry accord. And then that also mixes with this background of tobacco and vanilla, or tobacco and benzoin. It's like ambery, sweet, and resinous. Overall, although the cinnamon is the main part that you notice in the opening, if you want somebody to notice you for fall and winter and you want to smell great, this is what's going to do it for you. It's sweet, it's spicy, it's sensual. When you get to the dry down, it's almost like a tale of two fragrances, because that you have that overly spicy, sweet, fruity opening. When you get to the dry down, that tobacco pulls up. You also get that mixing with a lot more of this benzoin, this ambery sweet vanilla, and that mixes together with the tobacco. And then that cinnamon, although it does smoothen out, doesn't become as spicy, and it really becomes more of a background note. It's still there, and it's in the background, mixing with that vanilla and that tobacco. It's really sensual. It can almost be like a cuddling fragrance at that point in time. So it's like a tale of two fragrances. It's really good, and if you're really looking for something like this, and you want to try it out, I would definitely get out there and do so, because there are rumors that is on the chopping block to be discontinued sometime. I'm not sure if that's true. It's just what I heard. So I'm letting you guys know just ahead of time so you can make the decision for yourself. But Spicebomb Infrared, it's actually a really good price right now, 150 milliliters on Nordstrom Rack for 70 bucks. So yeah, and it's a grenade. As you guys could tell, I broke it in one of my videos. But that's Spicebomb Infrared. Really, really good fragrance for the fall and winter. The next fragrance on my list, going from the winter to the summer. Best daytime summer high heat fragrance, Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue Eau Intense, and Aromatic Citrus Marine Banger. So this is also an eau de parfum. I think the Spicebomb Extreme, or Infrared, is an eau de toilette. But this is an eau de parfum, and this is going to project and last probably 6 to 8 hours. It's not a heavy longevity, but it does project nicely. It's above average, especially in the high heat. This fragrance, the main notes in it are grapefruit, sea notes, and musk. So again, it's aromatic, it's citrus, and it's a marine fragrance. You get those sea notes, you get those citrus notes in the opening mixing together. When you're in the high heat, it gets activated by the heat. So if it's on your arm, it will be activated by that sun rays coming down and making it project off your skin. The hotter it is outside, the more it does project, I've noticed. Once you get to the dry down, you get a little bit more of those sea notes and those aromatic woody notes coming in. Really nice overall. If you're looking for a fragrance during the spring and summer that can be pretty much for any daytime occasion, to the pool, to a cookout, to the beach, wherever it might be, Light Blue Eau Intense is definitely for that, and it's definitely going to get you noticed. I've noticed that it also pairs really well with Tommy Bahama Set Sail St. Barts. It almost reminds me of like a citrus mojito. So definitely try that out. Light Blue Eau Intense, and for the price, which is about $45 to $50, you can't beat it. It's definitely the best fragrance out there for the spring and summer. So the last one here is going to be one that I just got about a month or two ago. I told you it's going to be on any list that I have for any fall and winter time list or any kind of top 10 list. It would be in it, and that is by the house of Prada. It is Prada Lhomme Intense. And so this is the best Prada Lhomme by far. If you took Dior Homme Intense or Valentino Uomo, took the cacao note, substituted it for a bit more vanilla and some leather, that is what you get with this. The main notes are iris, leather, and tonka bean or vanilla. And so the Prada Lhomme Intense, what it does is it opens up. It's an eau de parfum, by the way. It opens up with this really nice, beautiful, powdery iris note. Really nice, really sensual, really one of the best iris fragrance notes that I've smelled. And it mixes together with that tonka bean. The tonka bean is almost directly in the opening. And then once you get to the dry down, you get some aromatics, you get some ambery accords in there. It gets a little bit sweeter. You get a little bit of this resinous feel. And then you also do get that leather popping in, which really makes it nice. I don't really love leather fragrances, but the way that the leather plays as a background note in this, it's really nice. So Prada Lhomme Intense, it's going to be good for formal situations, casual situations. It's going to be one that you can wear to the office. It's not going to offend anybody. It's not going to project crazy. I just say moderate across the board. It's going to last on your skin for probably about 8 hours or so. But it's overall, it's more intense than the original. It has that sweet ambery feeling, which is better than the original. Although the original is great, this just makes that line unique. And I never really found that line unique, but this really makes it a lot more unique. So Prada Lhomme Intense, fantastic fragrance and the end of my list here. So those are my top 10 fragrances right now. I hope that you enjoyed them. Again, I didn't include niche in this because I just didn't think that it would have just messed up this entire list. I could have put in Leighton, Baccarat, Rouge, Sedley, a bunch of different fragrances. So let me know what you guys think about them. Also, let me know what fragrances you would choose if you had a top 10 list right now. But without further ado, thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell, and I'll be back with another one. Peace.